This episode is sponsored by Battlefront.com, now with new lower shipping prices.
Good morning and welcome to The Weekender. I'm joined by Sam,
yeah,
by Justin, by Ben, and I'm Warren, and we're here to have
what's with all this? It went that way.
This is my air traffic control vest that I'm doing right now. Just leading them all.
I thought that was dancing YMCA.
All the gaming public out there, all the gaming masses, just land your asses here with us and spend this Saturday morning.
What this is. Whenever Warren was in his younger days going to the pub, he was a leader going, lads, it's that way. It's that way.
This way. You're very welcome to join us. We have a ton of stuff to go over with you. In this episode, you could win. What can they win?
They can win some Age of Sigmar Lucid.
Oh, and...
Do you mean the Daughters of Cain Battletome.
The Daughters of Cain Battletomes.
So we'll be taking a look at that later.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that later. We'll tell you how to win. Also in this episode, we are giving away, and we're announcing the prize winners for, get this, the Fabled Realms Kit Bash winner.
Yeah.
The Fabled Realms with another £500 voucher that we're giving away.
Voucher.
We have the Foreground European Theatre Terrain winner. This was to do with the Stalingrad ruins.
Yeah.
And we're giving away the Star Wars Legion and Battle Foam. Okay? You absolutely want to watch that. You'll absolutely
tons of goodies to be given away.
Yeah. Okay, next week, kicking off on Monday, we have Infinity Week. This is for the new JSA faction, Justin.
Yes, so I had the good fortune to spend a week with Carlos and a new friend, Tim, who is going to be joining us for some Infinity content to talk about what's been happening with the Japanese within the world of Infinity, and to also announce there's a new book coming.
Yes.
New book,
new faction.
I am very excited to see all this stuff.
It's
more than a faction.
And
so much more. You do not want to miss this week.
Okay, and the minis. The minis are
so beautiful.
So beautiful. But you come to expect that.
Yeah. It wouldn't be an Infinity Week on Beasts of War without some mega prizes.
Ooh, what are we giving away?
We have 5 US Ariadne starter kits to give away, and if you like your Japanese forces...
I think you have them in behind you there,
Yes, he does. Let me just reach back here.
To
the pedestal of prizes we keep back here.
So we're giving away 5 of these bad boys.
Yep.
Let's see if we can get that on screen. There we go.
Yeah. And we also, if you like your Japanese stuff, have 3 Oyori Kirobutai tags to give away.
Oyori.
Oh.
Oyori?
Yoroi.
Yoroi? Okay.
Yoroi, yes.
Yoroi.
Okay. Well, we got how many of them to give away? 3. Okay.
Right.
How many more languages can we get into this?
A lot.
On yesterday, the Team Yankee campaign, the next Team Yankee campaign, this is Firestorm Stripes, launched. So it now's a really good time to grab your Team Yankee stuff and get involved in that Cold War Gun Hot campaign.
Yes.
This is part 2. So the last part. The Soviets basically did a big push, and now we're starting to see the pushback from the Allies.
Yeah. It's going to be very exciting to see how this develops. Yes. You know me, I love a bit of alternate history.
And with this one, there's more forces have been released for the game, so you're going to see some really nice, interesting armies put together.
And we'll bring you some updates for that over the course of the next few weekenders. Yeah. As that starts to play out, but by all means get stuck in. It's a really friendly environment. The guys, all of the participants have been so friendly and so supportive of one another. So if you and a mate have been looking for some opportunities to play some Team Yankee, get stuck into that campaign. It's completely free of charge, and it gives you a good excuse to play some games and have some banter in the forums on the firestormstripes.warconsole.com. Tomorrow.
Yes.
At 5 p.m, Justin and Gerry are planning to go and do a
live.
Star Wars live stream.
Yes.
So they're going to be playing out a battle across the ruined
table.
Yes. So now people can shout at me when I get the rules wrong in real time.
They're going to be so excited about that. We saw those comments.
Yeah, basically, now that the game is fully released, myself and Gerry actually want to sit down and get a closer look at some of the 3D terrain rules that are going to be coming along with the game. So I figured, what better table to do it on than one like the AT-AT, the real AT-AT, because there is some very, very cool terrain things there. And
do we have pictures of the table that you're going to be playing on?
I have it open. So
check this out. You're going to love this. Yeah.
So this is the one that John put together. As you can see, he's incredibly happy right there.
Yep.
Not as happy as Lloyd, I think.
Yeah, but it's a table that's going to be very tight to play around. There's no big, huge, open fire lanes and stuff.
Yeah.
But depending on how the 3D rules are going to operate, it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to get up and over this, because there's some special equipment that you can get for your troops and stuff that gives them expert climber rules and stuff.
Sort of like grappling hooks and stuff like that.
Yes, to let you move up and around it a lot easier. So I'm very curious to see, can I get stormtroopers and stuff up and onto the legs and things.
It's a bit like that moment in I hate to bring up the prequels, but Phantom Menace, where they shoot up the side of the Naboo Palace with the grappling.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it's just such a beautiful board. It would be an absolute crime not to play on it.
Yeah.
So that's what myself and Gerry are doing from 5
I have
p.m.
I have a bit of a plot and a bit of a discussion. Tomorrow, in the backstage version of this show, I'm going to start a small series, semi-regular series for the next little while, looking at Star Wars, repurposing Star Wars models and toys and things like that from other ranges.
Don't tell me you're going to make more people cry sitting there going, no, it's a collectible, what are you doing?
Yes.
How much was that AT-AT worth, we found out? I'm
not saying, but anyway.
So 300.
So tomorrow...
450.
Tomorrow I'm going to be talking more about other Star Wars stuff. But if you bring up a nice wide shot of that, I have a kind of like a scenario of this that I wanted to describe because a really interesting discussion erupted in the comments about this. So what we have here is you basically have the aftermath of kind of Endor or something like that, okay? Yes. And this AT-AT had fell at some point during the battle, okay? Yes. And my reasoning on this is that all of the scaffolding and stuff is from the rebels or affiliates of the rebels.
Yeah.
So what you're actually witnessing here is an AT-AT being stripped, okay?
Yes.
So you can see the main weapons have been stripped, and they're starting to strip their way through the carcass of what's left of the AT-AT.
Yeah.
Now it's very interesting. So it's a rebel or rebel affiliate scaffolding, because they're the ones that are stripping it apart, okay?
Yes.
And then the Imperials, or what's left of the Imperials at that point, have done an assault on that to try and recover some data. Now the reason being, and I'll talk a bit more about this in tomorrow's show, is this particular AT-AT is I think probably going to be a special classification of an AT-AT.
Okay.
So this may well have been an AT-AT that was carrying some of Vader's cronies or something like that.
It could be they're maybe going in to get a communications beacon so they can get off planet.
Possibly, but that's your basic scenario. Your rebels are already there, and then the Imperials come in.
That could be an interesting reversal of the usual setting, where this time the rebels have the upper hand.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's a smaller force of Imperials that have just been stranded on the planet. Yeah,
well, remember the Imperials will be in a little bit of disarray after the destruction of the second Death Star and the likes. But, play your match evenly tomorrow, okay?
Of course.
But one thing did come up. I had mentioned when I was talking to this to John why something like an AT-AT would be stripped. I was trying to give him the reasoning of why the rebels would be so interested in it, and why the Imperials would be so interested in it. So in other words, it's all very well having it there, but what would motivate the factions to actually fight over it? So I was saying to him, that an AT-AT to the rebels would be a somewhat rare thing anyway. The information on it could be ultra rare, but even aside from the information that might be contained within its databanks, the actual vehicle itself is. It could be considered rare in a relative sense, right? And for the Imperials, once again, you've got two kind of scenarios. Again, it's always very easy to have a MacGuffin of this piece of data was on it, and they had to get it. So,
it's the old standby of every
but
writer.
that aside, they may also want to go in, and their secondary objective might be if they can't salvage it or beat the rebels off it, they may want to completely destroy it.
Well, if the rebels were maybe trying to get weapons tech out of it.
Well, you think about this, a Black Hawk, right, went down in Somalia, okay? And standard operating procedure whenever one of those big pieces of military hardware goes down in enemy territory is you blow it up.
Yeah.
You don't let it be recovered. You blow the thing up.
Have you ever watched it's based on real world events. It's called Bridge of Spies.
No,
it's a Cold War era movie.
Yeah.
Where a spy pilot, his plane goes down over Russia. Mm-hmm. And, you see him getting trained up on it, and, his trainer's saying, look, if you're going down, if it looks like you're going to go down, blow the plane up. If you think you can get out and make it home, go for it.
Yeah.
But if not, we've actually got a silver dollar here for you with a pin in it, which is poisoned.
Yeah.
And it actually follows this fella getting captured and them having to negotiate to get
I think it was a U-2 spy plane, wasn't it?
I believe so,
that crashed. Yeah, it was back in the 50s.
Yeah, and it followed a lawyer played by Tom Hanks who was basically trying to get this fella back. Really, really interesting movie.
Well, this is what I'm saying. There's always this, it's easy to revert to the data is important, but even at that, you would still probably have Imperial forces going in to try and destroy it completely before secrets, technology, and stuff like that would go out of it.
Yes.
But but the discussion centered on this thing of rare. Would an AT-AT be considered rare? And it kind of depends. Everything is relative, okay? To me, I'm using the word rare because I've never seen the rebels driving around in one. So so being able to have one, I would say, that's quite rare. A lot of the rebel frontline guys are probably not feeling that it's very rare because they've faced a number of them.
I'm wondering if something like that would have happened in the Star Wars Rebels cartoon or something, because that sounds like something that could turn up.
It may well be in the legacy of Star
Rebels
Wars.
isn't legacy, but
Is Rebels canon?
Yes, it's canon.
Okay, well, it might be in canon. It may well be in legacy.
Are you sure about that? With Disney having the IP?
It's owned by Disney.
But my point being that whenever you take into account, I hadn't realized just how big the Galactic Empire actually is. So the Galactic Empire, how many planets?
100,000?
50 million.
Wow.
50 million inhabited planets and a population in the Galactic Empire of 100 quadrillion. And when I read that, I thought to myself, that probably would seem quite rare. It's like in Warhammer 40k, we think Space Marines are absolutely everywhere. But in the definition of the background of Warhammer 40k, if you even see one Space Marine, this is like unheard of in the Imperium. And if you see one, it means that there's some really bad stuff about to happen.
Yes.
So I'm kind of thinking of it along those lines, that depending on where you are, if you're in an AT-AT factory, you're probably not going to feel that AT-ATs are particularly rare.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're out in one of these 50 million planets, you will. The bottom line is, I don't see any reason why either the rebels or their affiliates would not want to go in and strip one of those bad boys for the hardware that they could get out of it. So I think the scenario holds up okay.
Yes. The narrative, it's not exactly a scenario.
Well, maybe you can make a scenario.
Yeah, you can make an underlying scenario maybe. From the underlying narrative.
Maybe, okay.
Okay? So you maybe have key points where there's data or something and key points that need to be destroyed. I'm sure you can work it out.
Yeah, I'll have a talk with Gerry and see what we come up with.
You guys are seasoned gamers. We trust you now. We trust you to be able to do this. Anyway, that live stream is going to take place at 5 p.m. Tomorrow on Sunday. That's Greenwich Mean Time, GMT.
Yes. So if you're wondering what that is in your part of the world, there are converting sites out there. Just go check one.
We should have some of the time zones listed on the post.
Yeah. Okay. So if you come over to beastofwar.com, it's on the post, and we have some of the other time zones and stuff on there. And remember, tomorrow morning, I'm going a step further, where I'm starting to talk about and get feedback from you guys as a community, because I'm just bubbling with excitement over all this Star Wars stuff. This is like my childhood
He's
dreams.
Been shipping in Star Wars stuff no end.
Oh!
Every half hour we'll get him running and going, guys, are you busy? Yeah. Well, come and look at this
Come and
anyway.
look at this!
Yeah, I honestly thought seeing him sitting down to pick this stuff up that the company card was going to melt.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We can join backstage. Seriously, join backstage and help us. Help us, Obi-Wan. We need your wallet.
That would have been a very different message. Obi-Wan, can you lend us a $5?
I have become.
I'm stuck at the local space fast food joint. I forgot my purse.
I have become an expert eBay sniper. I'm sniping on eBay right at the moment.
Are you using a program to do it?
No, I'm doing it all myself.
You're not an expert.
I believe you have to do it manually to truly get the blood pressure up and feel the emotion of it all.
Yeah.
And to get totally carried away with it. But it's great. I've been picking up the stuff at a reasonable rate. And I want to share it with you guys. We're going to talk about it backstage. We're going to show you what we've got. We're going to talk about scales. Some works. Some doesn't work, some's a bit of a stretch, some I'm very disappointed in, but it's hard to tell the size of these things a lot of the time. But I've got some great stuff to show you, and really what I want to do is to get your collective ideas on if I can't use the thing that I'm about to show you in the obvious sense of what I'm going to use it, was there something else within the universe that it would work as, because often vehicles have other variations of the same vehicle and whatnot. Some interesting stuff.
We should put up that Star Wars wall hanging I sent you guys from Japan.
Oh, the cantina?
Yes, I got that dug out. This is my little Japanese wall hanging. So I've been digging that out to put it up. So
and the songs. You didn't even need to start. The song's already stuck in my
right
there forever.
Anyway, so tomorrow morning, join me as we look through some more Star Wars goodies that we're going to try and convert into models and terrain for the battlefield. And then at 5 p.m. there's going to be a live Star Wars battle, which is going to be the equivalent of a Galactic Empire Black Hawk Down.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay. Well, we see. I love his caveats.
I make no promises. Whenever you're making scenario stuff up, I make no promises just in case I can't do it.
White Tiger!
Oh, my soul.
You love the White Tiger, Justin.
My soul hurts.
The chat definitely loved it.
Okay, next up, we want you guys to take some time when you can to head across and check out the Elf King article. Ben, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is a new game that's coming out, written by Rick Priestley under the guidance and everything of Lucid Eye publications, and the whole point of the game is that it's set in this fantasy world where elves are the lords of pretty much everything. They're not like the typical elves you've seen in fantasy before. They're not willowy, lithe, pointy-eared fellows. They are big, hefty, almost demigod style creatures. They're very much more in line with the type of elves you might have seen in Norse mythology and stuff like that. They don't even have, for example, sort of the standard makeup of humanity that everyone else does. So there's no hearts and stuff inside them. They are basically these shells with souls inside them, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. But it's set in this fantastic little fantasy world, which is very brutal, very dark, and very foreboding. And we've seen a really cool look at the world, some of the background, and of course some of the models that have been put out by Lucid Eye publications over the last couple of months, leading up to a release later in this year. So if you want to learn a bit more about the game, go and check that out. They talk about a little bit about what's coming soon as well. Yeah. So if you like the idea of all the kind of Norse stuff in the future, they've got the idea of trolls coming. Ooh. They've got humans and barbarians and all sorts of different things thrown into the mix as well. But the key fight in all of this is between the different elf houses. So you'll be playing as an elven Thane and his companions going to war against each other in sort of an interfamily struggle between everybody. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out on the tabletop. So.
The minis are lovely looking, aren't they?
Mm. They are very nice indeed.
Have we had any word on what scale these minis are?
So they're standard 28mm heroic. So think about maybe 28mm within 32mm. Yeah. So yeah,
they're absolutely beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's a very different take on the elven race. I'll give it that.
You see, that's the thing that's so fascinating about this. They've gone back to sort of older Celtic and Norse opinions on what elves look like and taken that as their inspiration. But for me as well, one of the interesting things here is that it has almost that Tolkien-esque feel to it as well. Like I've been looking at these not only for being used in the Elf King, but also being used as like Mirkwood elves, for example, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for example, the painted character could be Thranduil from Mirkwood, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, the game's looking really great. The models are looking fantastic, and there's much much more on the way as well, from what the guys at Lucid Eye have told us. So keep an eye out for it.
Absolutely, one worth watching for.
Looking at that painted image, I can definitely see why you would think Thranduil. There is a real arrogance to that sculpt.
He looks like he's ready to give someone the back of his hand, Warren.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Very nice.
Beautifully
Very
done.
nice.
Beautifully done.
Yeah.
Okay, final update. I got a letter.
Oh, we always like it when you get a letter.
Letters to the editor.
I love getting letters. I got this letter 9 months ago. And I completely...
That is a fast response time for him.
I completely and deliberately waited till now.
Snail mail.
This is from the Royal Air Force Wargaming Association. This is their demo team. And these are the guys that we meet up with at Salute each year. They run these amazing gaming tables. And he says... Dear Warren and the Beast of War.
Hey, that's us.
Hello.
That's the name of a band right there.
Yeah.
Warren and the Beast of War. I could work with that.
I'll
I
take
don't know,
my
it sounds
base
like
now.
an 80s cartoon.
Yeah. I'll be fair. It actually says Dear Beast of War. Okay? It says, we missed you at Salute this year, even though Justin did come and try to film us. But due to a miscommunication, that did not happen. Okay? You're bad. Well, it could be.
My bad, yes. I will take that one on the chin, because Salute is a crazy show. It's whenever we're going to do events, I always describe Salute as the one-night stand.
Yeah. Okay. We're careful where we go with this.
No, it's just...
Interesting.
Careful where we go with this. Yeah. You only get one shot at making a good first impression?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, that'll do. Okay.
And we're safe.
We're safe. That's okay. I thought we were going to go into a whole ream of excuses.
We have
No.
successfully navigated a metaphor.
It's and the key to this is, Justin, that after White Tiger at last weekend, okay, the overriding comments that came through is that you can moan with the best of them.
Oh, yeah. Now, you see,
Right.
this is why I love Foreground, because after that stream was done, I turned to Kat and said, Kat, I need you to make me just a tiny table that I can put beside me on the table so I can do a mini table flip.
Right, anyway, it was the first Salute where they have not been caught on film by one of your cameras. And then there's a wee tear face. Salute 2018 is still far off. Well, okay,
Not really.
not anymore. Not anymore. But after you filmed us at Salute in 2016 with the Minion Racing game, which was cool. And don't worry, Justin, the box does not contain the fart gun that Lloyd's enjoys playing with.
Wait, what?
Good.
The team at Great
missed this
Escape
one.
Games have challenged us to come up with a game using some of the products from Kobe Brick's Small Army World War II World of Tanks range.
Okay.
Great Escape Games has a load of these things, okay? And they wanted to make a shameless plug for what they're going to do this year.
Okay.
Now, it's been 9 months. They may have changed their mind and not told us. But they said, as a shameless plug, and knowing that Warren, as gamer dad, loves the philosophy of not painting miniatures anymore, he might have a use for these, but he might have to fight John for them. I never let John even see them. But
That
they
is
did send in.
tactics.
Isn't that cheating?
They did send in one of these.
Oh, it's Derbyshire.
So let me see if I can bring this up. So this is...
That is nice, not Lego.
Yeah. So this is cheapy Lego. Well, do you know what I say, cheapy Lego? I don't think any of it is cheap.
No.
It's alternative Lego.
Yeah.
Okay?
If they're making a game out of this, I have a piece of advice. As you build it, glue it together.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, you could do that. But we've built it.
Okay, now be
Okay.
very careful, because you haven't glued this together.
No, we haven't glued this together. Okay, I don't glue
This
together
is when
with
it
Lego.
falls apart on the table.
So Andrea and the kids got stuck into this one for me because they
built it for me.
This is my absolute favorite tank of all time. Yes, I know it's not a tank; it's technically a tank hunter.
No,
Can
it's
we
an
get in
assault
close?
gun.
Look, okay, an assault gun.
Why is one guy in the engine?
He's fixing it, Justin. Look, clearly you can see that he's got his head in there. His head is in the hole, and he's fixing it. Yes, He may be carrying a set of binoculars, but that's because he has to lift his head out of the hole every now and again to look around at what's going on.
No,
it's an assault gun.
He needs
all.
a closer look at some of the engine parts.
Yeah. So let me see if I can get you a better view. Justin set up some stinking close cams this week. There we go. Look at that. Let me lift that up for you. That is the ultimate of World War II sci-fi vehicle right there. Isn't that just awesome? That guy can actually stand... maybe he can't stand there, but he could stand there.
Yeah.
Right? And let me get his...
just hope the driver doesn't go too fast.
Let me just get his wee binoculars up that he's holding back to front. Okay, let me get them in the right hand.
I think the bazooka the other guy's holding is back to front as well.
Yes.
That would have been a shock for the guy behind him.
Okay, and... Not only that, but I've just noticed that his arms are on backwards, but that's okay. These are all minor details. Yes, the bazooka is firing in the wrong direction. Come on now, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 3-year-old built this, guys. How are they to know, really? So let me just...
No, I think they did good.
Let me spin the bazooka around because that is quite disturbing.
The way he was holding that, it's not the fella behind him that has to worry, it's he himself, because that's going straight into a bit of plate there.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. There, that's more like it now. And he's got his wee... Just look at his cute little face. Let me try and get in there. Look at that.
Yeah, okay.
He looks proper Nazi. This is great. Okay? So anyway...
I'm thinking this is probably Wehrmacht.
So they're going to... I think it's actually like a Lego man, really, myself.
Yeah.
So they're going to create a game
using
with this.
That'll be pretty cool.
I absolutely make the commitment on Justin's behalf that he will not mess up this year. Will you, Justin?
I absolutely make the commitment on Sam's behalf, because he's coming with us, that he will remind me.
I make the commitment that someone will set a reminder for me. Ben
will remind him.
Make it so.
Okay, so we will absolutely get there, because I cannot wait.
Thoroughly passed.
Because for the
Ben, pass it back to Lance.
For the longest time, I've been thinking about Lego as a source of gaming goodness, because there's so many cool kits. Not all of them are to scale with one another.
True, but if you got a big load of Lego and we're like building cities and stuff out of this, and then actually having your stuff playing through that, it could look very cool.
Serious effort though, building cities out of Lego.
I'm just remembering the Lego movie right now. Just thinking of all.
Please don't. But you look even at the Ghostbusters building. Probably one of my favorite pieces of Lego. I have Ecto 1.
Excellent.
But
how long did it take to build?
But I haven't built it yet. That one's still in the box.
John.
But I've been looking at the Ghostbusters building.
Oh yeah.
Every time I go into a toy shop, I look at the Ghostbusters.
Is it
building.
on sale? Is it on sale? Is it on sale?
230 quid.
What?
It's really big money for it.
Near where I lived in Japan, actually Japan's Lego World opened just where I left, and a pop-up store of Lego appeared near my apartment. It was I just got a really excited call from my best mate there. Sam, we're going to the Lego store. Just both of us standing in front of the Ghostbusters ranges.
Yeah. I can totally see some awesome Lego going. Anyway, I'm not finished. Look, my commitment to you is that he will not bugger it up this time.
My commitment is that he will remind me, and his commitment is that he will remind Sam.
Because I'm not finished. The reason John might want to fight me is I also have a Sherman. Look at that.
That is really well designed.
That's the Sherman M4A1 right there, Justin, just in case you didn't know.
I like the little
It's a welded hull, so...
It's a welded hull. How the
how can you tell it's
squared
welded?
edges, whereas the cast hull had rounded edges.
Yeah, it's square because it's made out of Lego bricks.
Yeah.
Which is probably why they didn't do one of the other variants, which had a cast hull.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah.
It's a big car with a gun.
Anyway, to Dave, Madcat 105 on the site, and all the other team at the Royal Air Force Wargaming Association, apologies that it did take me like 9 months to get your letter, but we've got it now. Yes.
Please send us the code for you guys on the map so we can find you while we're there.
Oh, yes.
Send us a PM to either myself or Sam.
Yeah, Sam at beastsofwar.com.
Yes. The other thing is, remember everybody else, guys, at Salute. It kicks off on the 14th of April. We will have some guys there doing film. Do not be shy. Make yourselves known to the team. Hello! We'll be right back after we tell you about some of the amazing hubs over on beastsofwar.com.
Greek mythology rages to life in mythic battles pantheon. Become a god and command heroes and monsters in a battle for Olympus at beastsofwar.com. Take control of armies from the 5 kingdoms of Arcania and vie for the throne of the ancient king in Wrath of Kings. Master your skills on the battlefield over on beastsofwar.com.
Hey guys, and we're back, and we're going to look at some new stuff from Age of Sigmar. These are the Daughters of Cain, Melusi.
Okay,
Warren, I'll hand them over to you.
let's get them under the close cam here. So we're giving these away along with their battle tome today.
Yes, we are indeed.
So actually, we'll tell you at the end of this segment how you can win them. So here they are. I love these models.
Yeah, these are superb models, and a great way to bring something new to the what's this faction called? Daughters of Cain are the new faction. What's the race called? I've forgotten.
Well, they're all Aels or elves in the world of Age of Sigmar. So but they're all following Marathi as she's come out from her hiding to reclaim some of the lands in the mortal realms.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My problem was I kept wanting to say Dark Elves, and I know that's not them anymore.
Now, this is actually a dual kit for the Melusi. So
yes.
they do the Blood Sisters and Blood Stalkers, yeah?
Yes, indeed. Both equally dangerous. They are snake women, reborn from those pieces of elf soul that were taken from Slanesh at the forming of the worlds. Is that right?
Yep.
The Blood Sisters, I hope I have this the right way around. The Blood Sisters are the close combat variant, and they have an attack, each one of them, where they can turn their enemy to crystal.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a bit vicious.
Yeah, it deals out 1 mortal wound if it succeeds.
So these are some of you have the Bloodworm in there.
Yeah.
You have the Crone, and then over here you have the Heartseeker bow.
Yeah, those are the Blood Stalkers with the
So that's the
bow.
ranged
Yes.
variant right there. And then on the front, I'm assuming we have the close combat variant.
they're the Blood Sisters.
I want this one. I think if I were building this, absolutely the close combat. I'm not sure what the meta would be for them, but definitely, if from a looks perspective, and really, come on, half the time that's all we care about, I would definitely go with the close combat guys.
I actually think a lot of people will be fielding the range, because the Daughters of Cain faction looks to be a frenzied close combat faction.
Yeah.
All about getting in as quickly as possible. So it's good to give them a bit of range support to help them get at those war machines and wizards who will be hiding. And the Heartseeker bows also deal a point of mortal damage on 6s. Yeah. So they are going to hurt.
Looking at them, at how they actually go together, so we have the instructions. The instructions are great. The instructions are absolutely first class on this. So you can see from that just how to go. I was initially surprised when I was looking at the sprues at the sheer number of components that go into making these guys. But in saying that, it looks like there's a fair degree of movement in the components. So if you wanted to change things up, you can do that.
Games Workshop have always been very good at making kits with a good amount of variety to them.
Yeah, it's not only about the variety of components, but the smart guys can make it that the components themselves have a degree of adjustment.
Posability.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the things that I've always said is whenever you're designing miniatures, you've got 2 schools of thought really. Single pose really dynamic, or lose some of the dynamism to actually go for a more modular system where you can actually have different weapons going on. These actually strike quite the nice balance between.
Yeah, well, to give you an idea of the meta, so for the Blood Sisters, where they're fielding the Heartshard Glaive, it is a range of 2 inches, 3 attacks, 3 to hit, 3 to wound.
3 attacks each?
-1 rend and 1 damage.
Nice.
They then have the Crystal Touch, which just has a whole pile of different... It's the Crystal Touch. A unit of Blood Sisters has 5 or more models. They dispatch their foes with their Heart Shield Glaives and then turn them to undying statues with their Crystal Touch. Gorgai, the leader of this unit, is Gorgai. Add 1 to hit rolls for Gorgai, and then turn to crystal as their ability. Each time you score a hit with a Crystal Touch, the target suffers 1 mortal wound. Exactly as you were saying.
Yeah, they are going to mow through the heavily armored units of the enemy.
And then if you went for the ranged variant, the Bloodstalkers, you get a 24-inch range, 1 attack, 3 to hit, 3 to wound, -1 rend, 1 damage. And then the Heartseeker's ability is each time you make a hit roll of a 6+ for this unit, in the shooting phase, the target suffers 1 mortal wound instead of the normal damage.
That's a nice bit of a bonus to throw in there. Just the odd time they will just find that chink in the armor and actually, hit someone in a soft spot.
That's the thing about the Bloodstalkers. They are their bows are called Heartseekers for a reason.
Yeah.
They have this unerring accuracy to find the heart of their enemy.
Out of curiosity, though, guys, on your thoughts on this, would it have been interesting, or would it have been game breaking that the turn to crystal rule, instead of suffering 1 mortal wound, it caused that those models that have been touched by that they weren't allowed to activate for the following.
Rather than causing a wound, it just paralyzes them for
the description is they become undying statues. So it's a kind of turn to stone. It is a Medusa kind of a thing.
It is.
So it does become incredibly powerful then.
Yeah.
If you're actually having them locked down for a turn where they can do nothing, you can either ignore them or everything in your force can go after them and they can do nothing about it.
It's still pretty powerful in that it's dealing those mortal wounds, and they won't be able to do much to stop that.
It just seems like an odd. Well, it's not odd. You work within the parameters.
If you turn
of the
to
game.
stone, you're dead. So if you turn to crystal, you're dead.
Yeah, but you don't die, do you?
Oh yeah, undying. Yeah.
Well, if
you're
like a regular line trip and you're hit with this and you take the mortal wound, you're probably just going to be dead anyway.
Yeah.
If you wanted to fluff it, you could say that the Medusae sort of turn them into statues and then shatter them.
Oh yes.
You could do that, but they have an 8-inch move, a 5+ save, 8 to their bravery, and 2 wounds.
Yeah. I actually like the idea that the Medusae, they turn the enemy to crystal, and then after the battle they'll go, I like that one. I'll place it in my hall.
Yeah, in my living room.
Yeah.
So
forever aware.
There's my new coat stand. He's posed perfectly. That's my new coat stand right there.
Do we have a picture of the tome?
So yeah, the Daughters of Cain battle tome is going to do exactly what most of them do for the different races out there. It sort of collects everything together into one place so that you can build your force up based around the Daughters of Cain and Morathi coming back. So as I say, it's going to have the rules for the likes of Morathi in her 2 various forms, because she has a sort of like a queenly form, and then she has one where she turns into this mighty snake beast as well, which is pretty cool. But then included in that, you're going to have all the background as well, so you learn a little bit more about how they sort of came out from the darkness and the shadows and the sort of the shadows of Slaanesh, and what their sort of plans are for the mortal realms right now. Of course, what's happening as well at this point is there's all this stuff around malign portents as well. So you've got this campaign going on.
Yeah.
So Morathi's come back just at this moment where everything is almost in flux. So maybe she's going to cause a little bit of an upset for the forces of order and things at the same time. But yeah, one of the big things is the whole idea of themed forces and stuff in Age of Sigmar, and you'll find loads of that in the battle tome as well. So lots to look forward to if you like the fluff and background of the Age of Sigmar world.
Yeah. The return of Morathi is the first time that I've really got intrigued for the background of Age of Sigmar, because Morathi was a character back from the old world of Warhammer, but the whole thing in her background was, I believe she was a priestess of the cult of Slaanesh in the Dark Elves forces, but now the Daughters of Cain, her faction, they hate Slaanesh. They absolutely hate Slaanesh. So I'm really interested in finding out more about her in this new world.
Hell hath no fury, Sam. Hell hath no fury.
Well, I've actually been very curious to find out what actually happened to Slaanesh, because I think whenever Age of Sigmar kicked off, didn't Slaanesh just disappear for a time? So I don't know, is Slaanesh back, yeah or nay?
Slaanesh was effectively sealed away. Within almost like a cosmic vault type situation, but the thing was that Morathi and her daughters and her followers were kind of left there with Slaanesh, as far as I remember, and she's finally sort of come back into the limelight and is looking for a little bit of revenge as well. So.
Yeah, I think it's a PC vault that they had within the background. So they needed time to readjust and make her more political correct, and then start to bring Slaanesh back from the vault.
So. Let's be honest.
Interestingly as well, sorry, Justin. In terms of characters coming back, A lot of people will be interested to know that Godtear from Godtear and Fitz is also coming back.
Yes, he's returning.
So yeah, he's stepped out of the realms of darkness and chaos, and he's looking for his ever faithful companion. Felix.
No, he was locked in a pub. That was a different thing.
Last I heard of Godtear and Felix. Oh, what was the book I borrowed off you, Sam? I borrowed the Omnibus. What was the last of them?
That would have been Giant Slayer in that one, the last of the William King ones. Mm-hmm. But I'm actually really excited for this because this is the same Godtear as was it from the old world. Yeah. He's quite literally just stepping out of the realm of chaos into Age of Sigmar and going,
what's going on here? Yeah.
So it's
awesome.
We're going to get to see the Age of Sigmar from that outsider perspective in his new stories.
Oh, that could be cool.
I'm curious to see whenever he looks at the sort of tech dwarves in Age of Sigmar now and goes, the hell's that?
Well, now he used to be an engineer in his background, so he might be interested.
Yeah, but he'd look at it and go, we didn't used to have those.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at some news. Ben, what is going on in the world of gaming this week?
Yeah, so the first big thing is some students that came out of UK Games Expo and the guys at Chaosium who create the Cthulhu rules, and they're going to be running the Cthulhu Masters at the UK Games Expo this year. And so this is a little bit of a different style of tournament. This one focuses very much more around role-playing rather than sort of like tactical skill and all those kind of things. It's a different type of skill, a more creative side. And so what happens is you'll join in throughout the weekend and you'll be rated by your peers around the table as to how good of a role player you are, like how you bring your character to life, the kind of nuances you have and things like that, how well you work together with others as well. And then throughout the weekend you'll be voted, and as you go through you'll do different scenarios, finishing off with a specially designed scenario that was done by Chaosium. As part of like a competition, and then one person will be crowned the greatest role player of Call of Cthulhu for this year, which will be very cool indeed. So yeah, it's very interesting to see things from a different point of view, looking at it from a more creative standpoint rather than it being all tactical and smart like that. So
I would love to join that.
Oh, definitely.
But you would have to be in the right mood, man.
I
would wear my tweed jacket.
Well, the thing is, you're going to get a load of people on that who are going to go totally thespian, right? They're going to go so overboard on that. You know, they'll be jumping on tables and all sorts of things. If you're not in the right mood for it, you're going
that's the point.
I think my mind's going to melt.
If anyone who plays Cthulhu knows,
race to San Zero.
Exactly. First person to go a bit wibbledy is pretty much going to be the winner. If you can be creative in how you murder your party mates, even better.
But you'll always end up with the Father Noel Furlong in among. Oh, Ted! And he's up doing river dance on the table, or just going absolutely bonkers because he believes that over the top is the way to win.
There will be one of them.
And while we're sitting here going, Justin, I'm going mad.
At which point, Warren, I quietly write a note to the DM, hold it up, pass it to them, and that note will read, please allow me to shoot that person. And then they're out of the game.
Joking aside, though, it will be an amazing experience. And having it that it's all based on your effort and how you make a great role-playing experience for those around you. I think that's fabulous.
It's brilliant. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't this
edition...
Wrong. Oh. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Didn't this edition of Call of Cthulhu win one of our Gamer Awards?
It did. If I remember correctly, yeah, it did. It's Cthulhu's fabulous role-playing environment. It really is. I would love to get involved. I wonder if they do any evening slots where we could maybe see if we could get in on that.
I'd be happy.
There are a lot of open role-playing things at UK Games Expo you can get involved in. A lot of their stuff is up now already for you to go and check out as well. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go and have a look at their website, look at what tickets are available and things, and plan ahead and get there to do some role-playing over the weekend. Yeah.
Okay, definitely, guys. Head across to UK Games Expo, and there will be tickets and stuff on that. If you find a nice quiet evening slot on the Thursday or whatever, save me a seat, and I will gladly come along.
Save me a high chair.
But if you start jumping on tables, I am liable to lose.
Warren, I expect you to be the one jumping on tables just like you act in the office here. Let's be honest.
Okay, right. I've some board game news for you.
Excellent.
Okay. We have just seen a preview for 2018 of Nyctophobia.
Nyctophobia, yes.
Nyctophobia. You might love this. Okay. Some people may not. I've got an interesting one. Ben, tell us a bit about Nyctophobia.
Okay, so this was a game that was kind of previewed towards the end of last year at Essen, but it's a few more sort of whispers are going around right now that it might be picked up by a company called Pandasaurus Games, and it might come to the tabletop this year. The whole premise behind it is that it's basically one of those sort of 80s axe murdering style films on the tabletop, so a slasher flick. So what happens is you've got the forest laying out in front of you. All the players are literally blindfolded, and you have to try and make your way around the board, feeling your way across it to get to the car or the police and escape the forest. Meanwhile, the axe murderer doesn't have to wear a blindfold, obviously, and he has a deck of cards that he works from, which will dictate the kind of actions that he can do on the tabletop. So you're trying to avoid him, feel out where all the risks are while he's hunting you down, all the time not being able to see anything that's going on. So it's going to be very, very cool seeing how this comes together. It seems like one of those really cool party sort of games that you might get out with a couple of drinks, potentially.
Justin, me and you blindfolded together with some drinks.
I was about
Can
to
you
say,
imagine it?
I was about to say I would play this. I was about to say I would play this.
Yes!
But not with him and not with drinks.
Oh, come on! You'd love it. Me, you. 2 blindfolds, okay?
Right.
Andrea's got a ton of them, man. I'll bring them with me, okay? Comfy looking ones, too, you know? I got you a nice pink furry one, man, alright? And drinks. What? That is a game that's crying out for bourbon.
Look, if you're doing this...
he's about to order vodka and Coke. What do you say? He's about to order vodka and Coke.
No, there's a very special drink in this world.
Please.
Right, okay.
A very special drink that some of you out there will know. It's called tea.
Tea?
Tea. It goes from 57% to 97% proof.
I've never heard of tea.
It comes from the Czech Republic. I'll bring you back a bottle.
You absolutely will. You absolutely will. Because the last drink you were telling me about was the Ron... What was it called?
Ron Jeremy Spiced
The Ron
Rum.
Jeremy Spiced Rum.
And before anyone says it, yes, it was that Ron Jeremy, and it was delicious.
Who's wrong, Jeremy?
Never worry, but Sam, we'll tell you later.
It's fine.
We'll tell you later. You don't want to know. I'll show you a picture later.
I'll get you some while we're over there. You're gonna love it. It's the only rum I've ever been able to drink.
Yeah, we'll get you a picture later on.
Okay. No. The Ron Jeremy stuff is great. You know, comes in a really big, thick bottle.
Let's get back on to this, though, right?
Okay.
What do you think? I know some. I had friends years ago, and there was a couple of them who would never do anything blindfolded.
No.
They just would not do the blindfold thing. Right. I wonder how many people would actually
have that fear.
Yeah, but I wonder what if it does add being blindfolded. Is actually an experience. You know, it is a. You can. It will start to trigger your fight or flight. I think a little bit. I think so. I think it's a really interesting thing to add to the game. Well, because I know in an escape room or something like that, if you go into somewhere and then suddenly it just goes absolutely pitch black. As safe as you know you are, your fight or flight will actually start to kick in. The adrenaline will start to.
You ever try to go through a dark maze where you're just walking through a maze with no lights at all? I genuinely feel scared in those places. But then I'm a cat.
I get scared in the halls of mirrors, man, because all them other warzans looking back at me, it just freaks me out with the awesomeness, you know? I was like
the interesting part of this for me is the tactile element to it.
Yes, because we'd have to feel each other up constantly.
Trying to map out a game board by touch.
Yes.
Is something that no one's ever going to have tried to do before. You know, in a game, I can't think of any that I've ever tried to do tactile mapping.
I'm with you on that, Justin. I can't think of any board game where I've had to reveal.
Unless you're playing with him, because he probably put a mousetrap down.
No. That's an idea.
Damn it!
Booby traps.
I was thinking super glue.
Booby traps.
Oh, why is there going to be one of those, like...
It would have to be non-lethal booby traps.
Okay, so the electrified buzzer, no?
But imagine if they built booby traps into it, right? That as you're moving along... Okay, to increase that sense of stress, that stress. I can imagine him though, just totally losing it.
You could actually fill these little indents with like squidgy goo and stuff.
Yeah, all sorts.
So as you're walking through the forest, oh god, it's squidgy.
Yeah, you could have a lot of fun with a tactile experience, but the little electric shocks and stuff.
Maybe, but did you ever watch Fear Factor when it was on TV?
Yes,
they always blindfolded people and did the tactile challenges that just freak people out. So I'd say your fight or flight would kick in with that.
Well, this is the question then for you, right? As a board game that's about axe murderers, okay? clearly those guys during the design of that said, well, the main thing for an axe murderer in an axe murderer flick is the sense of suspense, is that sense of that building suspense, and the horror more often than not is in the build-up rather than the actual gore scenes itself.
Yeah.
So they've actually created a mechanic for that, I believe, with the blindfold, because I think the blindfold will give you that sense of suspense, because although you think you're playing a game,
it brings you
will
down,
be on edge. Yeah.
It brings you down into the game rather than up above it as a player, seeing what everything's
the God's eye view.
But that, knowing that one of the players isn't blindfolded, you are going to feel on edge.
Here's a question for you. Whenever you're actually trying to find your way around the board, is everybody doing that at the same time? Does everybody have their hand on it at the same time? Because you might reach across, touch somebody, and go, sorry.
Only in the late night edition of it, Justin. I don't know. It depends on how many drinks are consumed, I suppose.
Have you ever had that where you're
all the time, man.
You touch something and it's just like,
Yeah, every weekend, man. Every weekend.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so that is the Nyctophobia. Is that going to be Nyctophobia?
Means fear of the
dark. Is it coming to UK Games Expo as well, Ben? Do we know?
Well, they do have plans to bring it to conventions this year, so you may end up seeing it at the likes of Essen, Gen Con, and UK Games Expo. I think it's made by an American sort of pairing or an author, so you're more likely to see it at Gen Con than you are in the UK. But we shall see. If it gets picked up and run properly through Pandasaurus Games, then you're probably going to see it in a lot more conventions this year. So,
if you are the guys behind this, please get in touch. Because he's dying to play this with me.
Honestly,
I'd love to play this.
I would love to do this on camera.
Yes.
Because I think it will be hilarious.
We should blindfold the viewers as well.
So not just a black screen.
All you would hear would be random girlish screams coming out of me.
It's just like any of our games, Justin, really, isn't it? So,
just in the middle of it all, white tiger!
Right, next up, probably the biggest piece of news this week.
Definitely.
Is Mythic Games have announced Solomon Cain.
Yes, and the painter, Seb Levine, has been showing off some painted stuff. Now, I had the good fortune to see this man work at Essen last year.
Yeah.
He is a master painter. He does beautiful work, and he has actually posted a ton of this to actually show off to everybody.
Oh, wow.
So now, this is the man himself.
That's Solomon Cain.
Yeah, Solomon Cain. He's the archetypal witch hunter, isn't he?
He was written by the same guy who wrote the Conan books.
Yes. Whose name is?
Robert E. Howard?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's it. I was going to say Arthur C. Clarke.
I'm glad he didn't ask me, because I probably would have said J.K. Rowling.
Oh, no.
No. But, this is Solomon Cain. Yeah. There was a movie about him a while ago, but we do not talk of it. He goes around the world fighting evil, from Puritan-era England to the jungles of Africa.
Yes.
You remember the Van Helsing movie?
Yes.
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered why a monster hunter in the employ of the Catholic Church dresses like a 17th century English Protestant? That's why.
Oh, so is it partially derived from Solomon
They basically took his look and went, let's dress Hugh Jackman up as Solomon Cain.
It actually worked. It looked pretty damn good on camera.
Yeah. Now, Solomon Cain, is there been more than one movie of Solomon Cain?
No, I think there's only been the one movie.
Yeah.
Never in a TV series or anything like that.
Oh, I'm thinking Citizen Kane. That's what I'm thinking.
Completely different.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's just
brain misfire.
I had a brain misfire there. Yeah, so Solomon Kane. But there's been a recent movie with Solomon Kane.
In 2006.
In 2006. No, I didn't hear bad things about it, so I'm definitely going to watch
Tomatoes?
it.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it twice, actually, and to tell you what I thought of it, I cannot remember a single scene.
You can't remember a single scene?
No, it was that forgettable.
I remember loads from Van Helsing.
Van Helsing was not a good movie, but it was memorable and fun.
Yeah.
I can't remember a single thing of Solomon Cain.
Oh, we'll have to watch it. Maybe blindfolded, Justin, with drinks.
Watch a movie blindfolded. Do you understand how this works?
I love the miniatures they've come up with for this.
Yeah.
They are absolutely astounding. Look at that.
Yes.
Very nice paint job on this one. The muscle definition is gorgeous.
I think that might be Solomon Kane's friend and partner, who is a witch doctor type.
Yes. Yeah.
Although I don't know how much they'll be keeping to how true they'll be keeping to the source material for that.
Oh, if I know these guys, they'll be close, and they'll go way beyond. If you remember, basically it was a similar team was behind Conan.
Yeah.
And they didn't just scratch the surface of Conan; they went all the way into Conan. And you will no doubt you will see the same here. They're going to unlock aspects of Solomon Kane that are just going to blow our minds, even from the gameplay perspective. Yeah. Because the gameplay of this is the bit that is really, really intriguing me.
Do we know scale yet?
Well, wait. Before you move on to scale,
32 mil.
Let me talk about gameplay.
Okay.
Because the scale is relevant, but compared to the gameplay, it's irrelevant.
Okay.
The big if you thought blindfolds were cool and innovative, in this. We all play citizen. We all play Solomon Kane.
Okay,
but we all play different parts of him.
What?
Relax. You're not going
different
to
aspects of his personality.
Aspects of it, yes, not Willie's feet, head, arms.
No,
aspects of his personality.
From Power Rangers.
That is a wonderful idea.
I am left leg.
I have a wonderful image now of just like the Megazord with a Puritan hat and.
I just have the inside of Warren's head. In at the minute, I'll be the pointy bit.
You play aspects of the personality. Okay.
So how does that translate onto tabletop play?
Well, that is what we are about to find out.
Okay.
So you some of us might play as I'm guessing here, but as his pride or his sense of righteousness or something like that, so it'll be really, really interesting. And why I think this is fascinating is because it's going to allow you to flesh out a miniature in ways that you typically never get to flesh out a miniature. Normally, a miniature is just a representative of 3D space.
Yes.
4D if you want to include time in there. But really all it does is you have your little set of rules which just guide how he moves and how he swings his sword. Okay?
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. It's great fun. Alright? But for a completely different gaming experience, if we're all playing parts of his personality, shards of what actually makes him there, think of how deep the experience of that is going to be as we basically bounce off one another and determining what his next actions and stuff is going to be, and the reasoning behind that as different aspects of his personality kick in.
Especially as it's been a long time since I read Solomon Kane, but he's a very dour character, very somber character, not very given to emotion.
Does he complain a lot?
I can't remember. I don't think
so.
Are
you wanting to get me a Puritan hat?
But think about this, Justin.
Yeah.
This is effectively like a dream come true for me and you, because we effectively get to become numbskulls. So we can live in his head and pull his little levers of what he's going to do.
I'd never want to live with you anywhere. No. It's not because of Warren. It's because I think I would murder Warren.
No, you guys might like to dig out an old article I once wrote for the website. I needed to do something quickly. I went, what have I played recently? Everyone is John was the only thing I had, and it's a party game,
right?
A party role-playing game where you each take on a personality within the mind of this one poor John.
Yes.
And you're all just in his head, and you have to roll to see who is in control of him, and you each have your aim of what you want to make John to do. So as GM running the game, I might make John wake up in a football stadium. Actually, this happened in the game a friend of mine ran. He had John wake up in a football stadium, and by the end of it, John had this idea to try and take over the island of Manhattan, declare himself the emperor of the Empire of John, and was swimming across the Hudson.
That's incredible, because if I was playing the game, all that's entering in my mind is the mountain of minis that I still need painted. Right.
We actually did something similar to this with a D&D character once.
Right.
First game of D&D I ever played, we had a wizard. and our John was playing it.
Yes.
Another mate of ours, Kevin, was playing it, and they were both playing the one character. So the wizard was possessed by a demon. So there was 2 players playing one character, and they had to roll off to see what was happening.
And was it interesting?
It was incredibly interesting whenever we went to interrogate someone. John was sitting there going, okay, I'd like to ask him some questions. Kevin was sitting there going, no, I'm going to set his feet on fire.
Right, okay. We will wait and see what the gameplay of Solomon
I don't think
Kane
it's going to
is,
be
so-
anything like that, what we just said.
No.
Okay, final piece of news, Justin, is Vitrix have come up with some Gallic fanatics.
Okay.
And they reached out to us specifically because they think you're going to love this.
Okay.
So let's check them out, okay? Ooh. So these are the Gallic warriors.
I like.
Okay. And we all love this. These are the guys that are basically going to field on any kind of nice kind of Roman table. If you scroll down though, it's the Gallic fanatics.
Naked.
Well, wait! He's got a shield.
Naked.
He's got a shield.
Naked.
He's got a shield.
They're
it's
naked.
Okay. Relax. Bring up the minis.
I find it hilarious that you pronounce naked with 2 E's.
Yeah, bring up the minis.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we start.
I require tools.
You might need a pair of them.
I've got some more for you.
Yep, so
I need more
there
tools.
they are, in all their flappy glory.
I need more clippers. I do not. I need more clippers. This is not enough clippers. I need to take care of this, like right now.
Okay, come on.
I need to get into the Vitrix factory right now.
We're professionals.
Yeah.
We're professionals.
Yeah.
Okay, we're professionals, okay? Right, here. There's some more. Okay, right.
Now I need a plane ticket.
Now, I want you to look at them, okay?
Yeah.
And so, no, stop looking. Your eyes keep flicking down.
Yeah, I know what you do.
Right, okay.
It can't be helped.
So look at them, right? We need your professional reviewer head on now.
Right, well,
Your
they've
eyes
taken
are still
someone's head
flicking
off.
down,
Would you
Justin.
I think I broke Warren again.
We're professional journalists.
Okay, Justin, go ahead there.
You need a bigger box. It's not long enough.
Okay, somebody give me a bigger box. What do you think of them, though? Seriously.
They're a nice idea. They're They're actually part of the history, so they're a nice. Sam, it's okay. I put them away.
It's okay,
I put them
Sam.
away. You're safe.
Right.
They're a nice idea
I don't give
because.
monkeys.
Bring up the
All right,
minis.
fine. You're gonna start laughing again. There we go.
Really?
I'm not. I wasn't going to
There
laugh
you go.
until
There you go.
said
There you
that.
go.
Right.
It's like those bloody ornaments.
I love the Ron Jeremy mustache on the far one. Look at it.
I don't know. This guy on the right, he looks really angry. Is he just standing going, "It's bloody cold today"?
This is so. Clearly, it was very cold today. Oh, they're perfect for the weather that we're having over here at the moment.
Aye.
I think they're great, man.
Honestly, they are a historical unit, so
Yes.
yes, some people will want to field them. I personally will not.
Now, the thing for me is they're Gallic.
Yes.
So they're Gauls.
Yes.
Asterix and Obelix lied to me. That never happened in Asterix and Obelix comics.
Yeah, I think that.
No, it's Nobelix.
Oh, that was bad. That was so bad.
Are you telling me you won't field them? Come on, as a
I don't
gift.
play that faction, so I don't
as,
need to worry.
as a gift, I'm getting you an army of them guys, man.
No.
Imagine it, Justin.
Do you have any idea how many loincloths I'm going to have to make?
He'll make one each for each one. Do you know what we can get? There's this great thing from the guys. Oh, what do you call the guys that do the rolling pins?
Green Stuff World.
Green Stuff World. Right, so Green Stuff World do these great little punchers, okay, paper punchers.
I think they also do like a press mold that could do a fur effect.
Punches?
Yeah, well, they do a punch. It's like a paper punch.
Yeah, it does
okay?
nice.
And you can get them in wedding shops, and they do butterflies and stuff like that. Great for samurai armies.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But they also do one that punches out leaves.
Yeah, like an oak leaf.
So you could do the whole little.
Or is it a maple leaf?
You could do the whole Genesis thing
So
on these
we're going
guys.
to do. Wait, we're going to do the great castration in miniature here, are we?
So all he needs,
done it.
is a wee.
What are you talking about? I've already done it.
You haven't seen his Saga Warband?
No, I haven't.
Why do you think the clippers were needed? I had to resculpt a loincloth.
He went into his Saga Warband and he clipped them all off.
Hang on. Let me do it right. It was like this. This is the position it was.
He couldn't bring himself to play them at all, so he went in and he clipped the whole lot off. It's a great eunuch army.
No wonder they're angry.
They actually fought better because of it.
He went in and re-sculpted loincloths for all of them. And then I said, well, why did you bother clipping them off in the first place? Yeah. So in this case, Justin...
They were sticking out too much.
So in this case...
It's unrealistic.
We'll get you one of them punches, a paper punch, right? And you can just punch out all these leaves, man. And you can do the whole Genesis thing on them, every one of them with their own wee strategically placed leaf, and you need never worry again.
You realise that would probably look like quite the interesting force.
That's the news.
Okay, everybody, we are back. That's the news done with, and now to talk about something that has me quite excited.
What, like the last news
Oh,
story?
yeah.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it's actually this. So the guys at Steam Force Games have got a new game out there called Godtear, and what they've done is something very different. They have done an early access kit for everybody with nice metal miniatures.
Cool.
So this is one of the most advanced sort of beta/alpha tests that I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're lucky enough to have a box in the studio.
Okay.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So, we will crack this up in a second, but I've got two of the miniatures built up.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
what did you think? Where did you think I was going?
I thought we were going to crack it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to show
want
off
to see
the built
inside.
miniatures first
Okay.
to
Yeah.
actually show off how cool these look.
Right.
These are
Let's do
two
this.
of
Then.
the heroes.
Can you tell us what the basis of Godtear is?
Yeah.
The whole concept is I believe there is godly power coming down onto the battlefield. The only people who can enter that power is your heroes, which is these guys. Your troops can't. And that actual objective zone begins in the middle of a hexed board, but it organically grows as you play the game. And because your troops can't move through it, you can use that to either cut troops off, block them from advancing, or actually build the actual scoring zone towards your starting area, which means that if your hero gets killed and has to respawn, this is from what I remember from SteamCon, so this may have advanced since then, you can actually start scoring in that.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting game, very deep tactical play. Everything seems to be baked into this game.
You would expect nothing less from the creators of Guild Ball.
Oh,
Of course,
definitely.
of course.
You know, it's, some of the finest rules makers
Yes.
in the industry, no doubt.
And they have all the rules are online.
Yeah.
So you can download your scenarios, your rulebook, your characters, and your assembly guides for everything that's in this.
Excellent.
And it's just a really cool idea because once you've done this, it actually guides you through the process of how to be a good beta tester for this.
Yes.
So it takes you through what you need to do, get your stuff up and running, and then says, here is now the sign up to the forum where we want to get all your feedback centralized back to.
And
That's
does
a
it give
very
you-
good idea.
Yeah, and does it give you emphasis on the type of feedback and stuff that they want
I
back?
think that comes later once you're actually looking through the forums as to what you're testing and where.
But
But
as we know from our recent beta weekend, good
Yes.
beta testers are vital.
Yes.
Yes,
And good structure to a
Yes.
beta test is vital as well.
Yes.
So
this is what comes in the kit. So you'll get your game board. This is really nicely done.
Well,
Print it out.
there's a letter.
Oh?
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So it says, "Dear Justin, please don't ignore us at Salute this
Aye.
year."
So that is your battlefield. So
Yes.
it's all done off of a hack.
Oh, that's shiny.
And your scoring, if I remember right, is done similar to the old Dreadball game where it was a sliding tug of war scale
Yes. So
to
you
see
could
who
be
was winning.
you could be tugged in this direction or tugged in the other direction.
Yes.
So it is far more of it's almost a skirmish using some elements of sports games.
Ish.
Ish.
Because as well as that, depending on which round of the game it is, the scoring zone's point value changes as to when you're scoring. So you have to choose when you're going to score your points.
Oh, that's tactically deep there. Yeah.
Again, that tug of war mechanic kicks in because
Yeah.
whenever you actually score points, you actually get a little advantage or a disadvantage for having done it.
Yeah.
And inside this box, you get tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons.
Oh my word.
And tons of metal.
You forgot a box.
Oh yeah, there's even more metal here. Look at this.
Don't need
Oh
this
my
one.
word!
So you get a buttload of miniatures to go along with this. Pretty
Some
much
of these
everything
are
you need to play.
enormous as well.
Yeah.
What I whip this big boy out here, do you see?
Alright.
So let me show you guys this. Justin, you know the name of this guy? Probably
No, I'm
not.
still
Yeah,
I'm still
so-
learning. But the good thing is, on the actual sheet that comes with the box, if you pass me the paperwork over, there's actually a list. Give me it all. Give me it all. Give me it all. Wrong one.
Oh, wrong one. Okay.
I know
There we
exactly the
go.
one I'm after.
Yeah, there you
Give me
go.
all of this.
Okay, so would I zoom in close so I get this
Here we
set
go.
up for you? So here we have. What do you see the size of this guy here, right? So let
Yeah.
me just get out of my way. Get out of my way. All right.
Yes.
Look at that! What a beautiful piece of sculpting.
All right. So, what kind of a creature does he look like?
He looks like a big dude with a big, scary mouth.
He would look
full
like a
of muscles.
minotaur to me. Yeah.
No, he's
That-
not a
Does he have
minotaur.
space for horns on his head?
Nope.
Oh, what did you say there,
No.
Ben?
I think that guy's name is Rangosh.
Rangosh.
Scourge of the Broken Plains. I think.
Jeepers
Oh,
creepers.
no.
Look at that. The miniatures are absolutely beautiful in this.
Yeah. You've then got your dragon
Yeah,
kin.
I am a very happy man. I have found the lizard man.
Did you find the dragon king?
I found
Yeah.
the lizard man.
All right.
So here's
Wraith
the dragon.
Marid is his name.
Okay. There's bound to be painted pictures of these up online somewhere.
Yeah.
So editors, replace my shaky hand cam with some cool pictures of these.
How do you pronounce this name? Sam?
Rodri Ironheart.
Right. So that's the dwarf.
Yeah.
And then you've got Blackjaw, who's the orc that I built.
Yeah.
You've got
Lorsane.
Lawson. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the elf.
Mm-hmm.
Wraith married.
Yep. Then
Or
Rangosh,
Riot married.
and then you've got the
Shale.
last one, which is the human mage.
Welcome
get
to
a
Learn
Stargo.
to Read on Beasts of War.
All right, but you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters in this box, so you have
Yeah.
everything you need to play.
Cool.
They're also providing you with all of this,
Yes.
which is the hexes are your scoring zones.
So
That
that's,
way, that way.
Okay, so these are the hexes.
Yeah. So those you
Okay.
use for your scoring zones, and like I said, they grow organically as you play.
A little bag of cubes.
Yep, you've got all the cubes. You've got
Look,
blank dice.
Red bag. Justin.
Yeah. Mini red bag, not so
Okay.
scary.
And then the dice are all blank.
Yes, because you get this page, or these 2 pages.
Okay.
So you've got this one.
Of
Which
white.
is a blank page.
Yeah.
It's all stickered.
Yeah.
So
but,
in the online instructions, this explains to you how to actually load out the dice.
yes, but
Why did you show them
why
a
did
blank
you show
page?
a blank page?
Because it's also stickers that are circularly cut. You just can't see it here.
Okay.
Ah.
So those are used to mark stuff as well. It was just the order that came out.
Okay, so we have a sheet of blank stickers
And
then a sheet of non-blank stickers. Now this is the
Yes.
more interesting one,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yes.
So on this here are the different
Basis for your dice.
faces for the dice. Do they give you the instructions for how it all goes
All
together?
online. So
All
if,
online.
If you've picked this up and you're wondering how to actually order your dice and stuff, again, it's on this. See this assembly guide?
In the assembly guide,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you want, I can open this up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get her open. Yeah.
We'll let it load, and it shows you how they all go together.
Uh-huh.
So everything's pretty nice and clear. You also get this page, which is some of your tokens.
Okay.
Your
and
champion banners.
we have the
Yes.
tokens right here. So there's the tokens. Yeah.
Because to score, you have to plant your banner.
That's probably what the wee round discs are in this bag.
Yes, so you cut your paper out and glue them on top with a little bit of PVA.
This is fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we
As
talk
a
about
pre kit,
a way to do a
Really
beta kit.
comprehensive. Huh?
And the beauty of that is you're not relying on people that are local to you.
No.
You can literally recruit beta testers from all over the world
Exactly.
using this approach,
Definitely.
which gives you the best of distribution for input from different styles of player.
Yep.
You know, it puts your writing to the test as well as your rules.
And this is what I was telling you about. So it's taking you through the steps of what you should do to get involved with the beta test. And then the last one is join the forums.
Okay.
So, very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff.
Oh.
I'm really excited to see how this game plays.
I'm really excited to see all these minis go together, and
like
There are a lot of them.
maybe some of you guys would fancy joining us for a live beta test.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be fun.
Where
would be
we will
great.
try and get to grips with this, and we'll do it live so that you guys can feed in as well.
Yeah.
And
Scream at me live if we get rules wrong.
and scream at us if we get the rules wrong. Yeah, which is exactly how it should be.
Definitely.
exactly how it should
Especially
be.
for beta tests.
Of course. But I think
so this is still available for anybody that wants to jump in on this?
So you go to the steamforce.com/Godtear, which takes you to this page. There's button here that says get your copy.
Yeah.
Click through, and $150 or 120 quid to jump in.
And it says in stock.
Yeah.
And ready to go. I tell you what.
All put together here, so here's how they all look together.
That is for the sheer amount of metal that you're getting in that. And
I will point out as well that I think the kit we've got is the all-in thing.
Yeah.
So it's the one that includes both shale and rangosh, but you can change the values of this. So obviously you pay a lot more to get that version of it, but you can pay for it with just the basic kit, or you can add shale or rangosh in, or everything, regardless of depending on what you want, really. So
excellent.
So you get options.
Yes. Yeah.
I absolutely adore how this is came together for a beta kit. I have never seen anything finer. And I really, really hope this game does well for the guys.
It looks really well organized.
It's such a different take. And whenever you actually see the mechanics playing on the table, I had the good fortune to actually be allowed into the SteamCon sort of. There was an exclusive thing where they did it with just some of their people where they were showing this off, but not to the general public.
So we didn't get any video of this?
No, we specifically did not do video on this, but I have said to Jamie and the guys, I would love to have them across for a visit to actually do some filming on this.
Definitely.
It's got me really curious.
Well, let's reach out to them. Reach out to them, see if we can get Jamie and the guys over. They may well want to join us on the live streams as we
that could be good.
Work on
that would be fantastic.
I think as a beta testing kit goes, that is absolutely first class.
Yeah.
First class. Right. Kickstarters. And then we're gonna announce some prizes.
Yes.
What
So
you can
many
win
prizes.
and what you have won.
And what you have to do to win.
So first up, the obvious Kickstarter, the Behemoth.
Batman.
It is the Batman. Ben, what can you tell us about it?
So this is Batman Gotham City Chronicles by Monolith. We've done some videos on this game before, so we've got some Let's Play showing off the verses and the adventure mode. Talking about the game itself, it's for 2 to 4 players, and you'll play as Batman and his friends going up against the villains from the Gotham gallery of rogues, as it were. So the base pledge itself comes with a hero and a villain box, plus your rulebook. So you'll have 2 different boxes that contain everything you need to play. As you go down through the Kickstarter page, you'll see everything that's included in there, which is a hell of a lot, as you might imagine. As well as that, there's also going to be a whole bunch of extra bits and pieces added onto this as a Kickstarter exclusive as well, so bear that in mind when you look at this campaign. There are going to be new villains, new heroes, loads of 3D terrain elements. There are new goons, art prints, alternate versions of a whole bunch of different characters, so you can look at different sculpts based on what you like from the sort of era of Batman that you read potentially in the comic books. So there's also a number of expansions that include Wayne Manor. There's also Arkham Asylum. There's the Versus expansion, which is the one we've talked about in videos before, where you go up against each other with 2 teams of characters instead, which is really cool. And then there's also, as a little bit of a special thing as well, there's the Batmobile expansion. So if you like the idea of a vehicle on the tabletop, they've got that too. So as you might imagine, this game is kind of similar to what we saw with Conan, in that you'll be playing 2 different linked scenarios and adventures that you play through as Batman and his friends, taking on all sorts of different villains and dealing the pals and whoop-asses that you would have seen in the old version of the TV show as well on the tabletop. So very, very cool. And as I said, Kickstarter exclusive. So if you're interested in this, you're going to have to get in on the Kickstarter campaign as it stands right now. So,
absolutely.
One thing I do have to say for this, I had the good fortune to actually play this game, so I've played it in both modes.
Yeah.
Playing in the versus mode is really, really interesting because you're both working off that river mechanic instead of having that, I'm controlling a character, my mate's controlling a character, and then one of us is controlling all of the villains. Having it play out as both of you on that same footing is really, really cool.
No, I don't understand.
Okay, so let me scroll up here. Just give me a sec. I'll go to the thing. So the way this normally works is your villain controls his things with this.
Right.
They're on the river. Okay?
Oh, okay. Yes.
And then as he plays stuff, each of his tiles goes to the back of the river.
Yeah.
And then gets more expensive to play.
Yes.
Okay. Whereas all of your regular heroes are normally playing with this, an individualized
tablets and hero screens. Oh God, yes.
So it's an individualized control console.
So the way you control stuff as the hero is different from the way the villain controls stuff as the villain.
Yes, that's in the adventure mode.
Yes.
So whenever you're playing the versus mode, you're both working off this.
You're both working off the hero mode.
That's
okay.
Off of the command board.
Sorry, the command board, yeah.
So it really changes how you play, how you tactically think about stuff. And it means that you're not just playing with a single hero. You can be playing as Batman, Catwoman, Red Hood, with a bunch of like GCPD characters there as well, fighting the bat out against the villain.
GCPD.
Gotham City Police
Department.
I knew that.
But no, it's a fabulous game. They've went back and they've revisited the Conan mechanics, completely retold them to make the game run smoother, run better, run cleaner. Because whenever Conan first got into people's hands, there was a little bit of confusion about how to actually play the game. They've completely cleaned that up.
Yeah.
The sculpts look gorgeous. The IP is fantastic. Definitely want to jump in on if you like
It's
your
Batman. Come on.
Yeah,
As a fan of the comics, I am geeking out over every single one of the sculpts we've seen. Both Red Hoods were there.
Yeah.
Jason Todd and the original Joker variant. The Court of Owls, and of course my favourite Batman villain, the Riddler.
The Riddler.
I don't know. I do like the Year Zero Batman. The sculpt for it is...
Which one's that? Bring that up so we see it.
So if I can quickly find it here. It is this one.
Zero year.
Yeah.
When he's starting out.
Yeah, that just looks really cool to me.
Oh, so that is Batman in the kind of like the early weeks of him.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the Penguin, you've got... Oh, who's that?
Cassandra Cain.
I do not know Orphan. I do not know Orphan.
Yeah.
You've got Robin, Damian Wayne.
So Batman's son, the variant. I see.
Yeah.
You've got Jason Todd. You've got
Dark Knight.
Batman, yep. Red Hood, classic one from the old origin story. Solomon Grundy.
Gotta love Solomon Grundy.
Such a villain.
That's some amazing
Hush.
stuff.
And Man-Bat. Oh, Hush.
Yeah, Hush is
nice.
Yeah.
there.
So basically, they have such a world to explore with this game. It's just crazy fun.
Absolutely. Right, there's about 28 days to go. And remember, this is Kickstarter exclusive. Monolith have... do you know what? I think they've nailed this because they realize that there are certain games that you can only now create in this fashion. Okay? So they're creating these big box thematic titles that are only viable via Kickstarter, because to try and do them via retail involves distribution, which means that there's a number of points in the chain that need to get a cut. And what it does is it reduces the margins so much that the original creator, the original producer, actually then starts to make a loss potentially. So if you want these big box experience games, I suspect Monolith won't be the only ones to go this route. That you will find more and more of them being the Kickstarter exclusive. So you get in on the Kickstarter, and if you don't, if you're lucky, maybe you get a rerun or reprint at something.
Or a rerun through the Kickstarter. But this is what I call a complete experience game.
Yes.
You have everything you need in one shot. There is no slow build up to it. It's one big hit.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that, because that's what we've seen from Monolith, and it does work well.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have Robin Hood and the Merry Men.
Oh, wonderful.
Ben, I'm looking forward to this one, mate. It's got meatballs!
Yeah, so this is by Final Frontier Games, and it features art from the Miko, which is absolutely amazing. I love everything this guy does. But this is a semi-cooperative competitive board game set in the legendary world of Robin Hood, and you'll be playing as Robin Hood and his merry band of men like Will Scarlet and Jane Fortune, all these different types of characters, Little John.
Friar Tuckman. Friar Tuck.
Trying to keep Nottingham from falling into the hands of Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham. So the whole point of this game is that it's got a lot of Euro mechanics built into it. So it's a lot of stuff about worker placement and choices like that. You'll have two different phases in the game. The first of them is the Merry Men phase, where you set up traps, you build barricades on the road to stop the flow of treasure from the kingdom. And then you've got the hero phase, where you go out and you rob the stagecoach, you take on Prince John's guards, you try and steal from the castle itself, but then there's a little bit of a push your luck mechanic in there as well. So you may end up in jail. So a little bit of Ameritrash going in there at the same time, which is really cool. And then, of course, it's all tied together with this amazing theme that you see over everything there. As I said, the art's by an artist called the Miko, who's done loads of amazing art for a whole bunch of different games. But this is just looking absolutely fantastic. It's got all those really nice Euro feels to it, and then it's got a little dose of American over the top of it as well to give it a bit of pizzazz. So
What,
He looks familiar.
What?
He looks familiar.
Well, who does he look like?
I would have said Warren.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah.
Look at you, steak and done in your armor. You look like the sheriff of Nottingham.
I'm going to start a mini campaign.
Okay.
Right? Because
What, do you want a full set of armor?
no, a campaign to change a phrase.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there's a phrase, and it's used in board game, and it really grinds my gears.
Okay.
Right? And Ben knows exactly the phrase I'm talking about. It's Ameritrash.
Yeah.
I hate that phrase.
I would agree
Has
with you
anybody else got a better name for that? You know,
If it makes you feel any better, Warren, they are starting to phase that out as a word now.
Yeah.
It's just a very easy catch-all term for people to use, but a lot of people don't tend to use it too much anymore because we've got a little bit of a mix between the two genres nowadays. But
it's a phrase I would love to see. And I'm all for free speech, and anybody wants to say anything, you just say anything. Well, I don't care. But that's a phrase that grinds my gears because it's the trash bit. Because it's the bit. It's all the rules I really like.
if it makes you feel, additionally, if it makes you feel better, a lot of people use the word Amerithrash now, where it's a little bit more sort of like crazy cool action rather than it just being about trash, as it were.
I can see
Amerithrash. I can take
Amerithrash, maybe?
Amerithrash. Yeah.
Amerithrash.
What?
Americrash, maybe?
Americrash? Yeah. Help me here. Help me.
I don't know. I'm disliking Amerithrash a little bit.
I
It's
like
like
a bit of
thrash metal.
Yeah, I could do thrash, but have we got an alternative?
Do you remember how angry you used to get whenever people called the background to game fluff?
No, I never got back. I never got.
who was it that got angry
It
about
was Games Workshop that got it.
Oh, right.
They hated the term fluff.
It's now just became an industry standard.
But even it's going away.
Is it?
It's going away.
Yeah,
people,
it's getting phased out.
People
Fair enough.
don't really talk about fluff. Fluff makes it sound like it's not so important.
Lore is the more
it's
used
lore,
Lore, yes.
or background or narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah. But lore is it. But the fluff was a fluff. Fluff indicated it was like, oh, well, you don't need that. Where's the stat lines? But that kind of player isn't the only player in the in the whole scene. So
Now, if I may bring it back to the Robin Hood board game.
yes,
quickly.
you may.
I was talking with Ben about this earlier, and we both agreed that we really want to play this game due to one simple childhood memory.
What's that?
Maid Marian and Her Merry Men. If you're from America,
Absolutely
you probably wouldn't
amazing
have seen
show.
this.
Maid Marian and her merry men.
I've not
I
heard
don't
of
remember it. No.
Oh, you two missed out. It was a TV show. It was a kids' TV show written by Tony Robinson, Baldric from Blackadder.
Okay, so this is the first time, Warren, I've been on your side of the line, actually having a TV show that came after me and not knowing it.
Yeah. I don't know. My overriding memory of Robin Hood is Disney's Robin Hood with the foxes.
Yeah, that was my first initial
and
one.
I love that.
For me, it
so.
was
I love that
Robin
film.
Hood Men in Tights. Just
Right.
so much fun.
Right.
Such a fun movie.
We're men.
Okay.
We're men and tights.
Right, Justin, you think about the men in tights.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on with the prizes. Okay, this week we are giving away the Melusai and the tome to go with it. Okay, if you want to win it, we want your watercolor moment. Okay,
Yes.
we want to find out how you're getting on with all of your Age of Sigmars. We want your best, coolest watercolor moment from Age of Sigmar.
It can be lore-based, it can be games-based.
Yep,
whatever you think is
just
the most
something
awesome
cool
moment.
that's happened in your game.
Yeah.
That you want to tell us about, because we want to hear all the cool stuff that's happening in the world of Age of Sigmar, and we will send you our snaky ladies and their corresponding
Battle Tome.
battle tome. Right, let's give some stuff away.
Hey, we've been looking forward to this all show.
Yes. So we have been running loads of competitions. You may well have won a prize. You may not even have known you entered in the first place. So stick with us. Star Wars is at the end. Okay. First up, we're giving away the Fabled Realms kit bash from our forums. So we asked you guys to join us in our kit bashing over the weekend. To kit bash up either a hero or warband or something like that. For the Fabled Realms. And we have 3 finalists, and we're going to pick a winner.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So finalist number 1 is Dane.
001.
Dane 001. So let's see what Dane did. Ben, tell us what Dane got up to.
I just so I'm clear, which picture are you looking at right now?
We're looking at Dane 001, and I see some people in armor with a yellow and black shield.
Right, I am on board. So
There we
yes,
go.
this was a really cool little warband that he put together. It's actually spread over 2 different posts on this one, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And effectively, he was playing around with the idea of creating a whole bunch of different models based on a whole bunch of different plastic sets, but he's actually gone into all the detail of talking about where all the components came from and how he came together, putting them all together, and he's also priced them out for the game as well, which I thought was really cool.
Cool.
So yeah, if you're interested in this, he's gone to all the trouble of naming all of his characters, talking about where all the bits came from, costing them up, and then talking about them as a whole with their fluff as well. So he's gone into detail about where they came from. They're all part of the Mordenberg City Watch, incidentally, which I thought was really cool. So very cool indeed.
Yeah, so you can see that the bodies are from Perry Mercenaries.
Yeah.
The head and the sword is from Perry Foot Knights.
Isn't that a spear?
The arms... No, the head and the sword are from Perry Foot Knights. The spear and the arms are from Oathmark Dwarves.
Yeah. Oh, right. It actually all fits together very well. And they have that uniform feel that would show them as part of the State Guard.
Yeah, definitely.
I was doing some kit bashing myself on the Saturday night.
Really?
I know Lloyd stayed in there ungodly hours, like 1 o'clock in the morning doing his kit bashing. But I was kit bashing myself some barbarians for the followers of the Six. Which is
I ended up getting a warband for the followers of the Six as well.
Did you really? High five, followers of the Six.
I made a pirate crew.
Yeah, I just went with the wild hairy men of the forest of hairiness.
Yeah.
So it was all kinds of awesome. Basically, I'm building a Justin Killer. I'm building a warband that will utterly destroy you just by looking at it.
Okay, what? Some sellswords?
No, schlongs. Lots and lots of them. All anatomically correct and expertly painted. So, if anybody wants to help me, I need the right shades of pink and flesh and everything else.
Right. But no, these are...
Oh, he's moving on! He's moving on!
We've got other stuff to go on.
Okay.
All right, these very nice.
Yes.
But shall we move on to our next entrant?
Yes, absolutely.
So who's our next entrant?
You tell me, Justin. You're controlling it, man.
Slyges.
Siges.
Or Siges, sorry.
Okay.
Siges.
Oh, I like this. Oh, this is very cool.
This is very good.
Yeah, so this was, again, almost inspired by effectively that one painted miniature that you see there, which is that awesome female leader. But then he went to the trouble of going through a whole range of different plastic sets and put together these really cool miniatures. You'll actually see some of the incidental bits there from a lot of Games Workshop plastic kits. There's also some stuff from the likes of Frostgrave and all that kind of thing. There's also some statuesque miniature heads in there as well.
Oh, he's used loads.
Yeah. I love
the big thing that I really liked. Sorry, the big thing I really liked about this was just the fact that he's gone in with all the green stuff work as well. So he's gone all some really nice stuff, including bags and capes and cloaks and all sorts of things as well. But sorry, Justin, go ahead.
No,
Ben, you just trampled over me and said exactly what I was going to say.
Sorry.
It's fine.
There we go.
he was having a mind meld moment there.
Yes.
So it was just going to sound like an echo anyway, Ben. So I wouldn't worry about it. So that's Siges's warband.
Yeah.
And then we also have Degren. Who did a Summoner Wizard.
Oh, this is nice.
I just love how cinematic this piece was.
Oh, I like that. So it's the woman that's doing the praying
Yes.
is summoned this kind of a spirit.
Yeah, I could see this turning up in the Eightfold Path, really.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, like, I'm looking at the work that's been done to it. It's beautiful. It all seems to fit really well together. I like this.
I wondered, did they give a wee parts list of where all the bits and pieces came from?
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
We need more summoners and wizards, though. Is what
We do need more summoners and wizards.
Actually, that's a fair point. What we did see during the weekend and the kit bashing was lots of regular foot infantry done up with weapons and stuff. So well played to you, sir.
Yep. Right. We're going to pick a winner.
Yep.
Before that,
yes.
What is the prize again?
Okay. So the prize is you're going to win the exclusive Stoic, the exclusive Dragos, a warband of your choice, and the chance to work with the guys at Foreground to create a new character for the Legends of Fabled Realms.
Okay.
I'm getting way too good at that.
It was a hard decision. It was a very hard decision.
Yes.
But based on the sheer amount of kits and stuff like that, the winner is Siges.
Has to be Siges.
And his warband. So, well played, Siges. Do the claim a prize thing, and Justin will hook you up with the guys.
Yes.
And we will get your stuff on your way. But well played. What a lovely piece of work.
And a big thank you to everybody who took part in this particular challenge, because it was a little different to what we normally do. Normally it's just drop your comment in and off we go.
Yeah.
This was something you actually had to prep for, sit down and do a bit of work for. So
and we
for
hope
everybody
you
who
guys...
jumped in, well done to you.
We hope you had fun.
There were some superb pieces in there. It was difficult to narrow it down to those three.
Absolutely. Okay, next up we have the On the Sunday, in the comments, we had one last £500 terrain voucher to give away.
Yes.
And the winner of that was Liam Blundell, 1993 from BC4. Claim a prize.
Yep. Also, we did have 3 others that we were giving away. Go back and watch the live blogs again. So the first video on the Saturday, we announced the winner, and I believe the last video on the Saturday, we announced the winners.
Yeah, I think that
Or was it the last video on the Sunday?
It was the last video on the Sunday.
Last
we
video on
announced
the Sunday,
Saturdays. And the first video on the Saturday, we announced
the Fridays.
There you go.
So go and check that out.
Yeah.
Next up, we had the Stalingrad Ruins. This was a European theatre terrain competition.
Yes.
And the winner of that was Tresillian.
Mm-hmm.
So please
Claim a
claim a prize.
Yeah.
And then next up, we had the Star Wars Legion.
Yeah,
Battlefront.
it's the one you've all been waiting for.
So we were giving away a copy of the Star Wars Legion core set and also the Battlefoam inserts for that core set.
Yes.
The winner of that.
Wait, before we say, what did they have to do to win it again?
Oh, yes. To win it, you had to tell us your Sith name and your Sith weapon.
Yes.
And I loved reading all of this.
Yes.
I thought it was great.
There were some very cool ones.
So, see if you know yourself. Your Sith name was Darth Grim Varg. And to go with the name, the hilt would be shaped like the head of a savage wolf. Made of onyx. Blood-red beam that drips. When swung, the drips would disperse, causing area of effect damage to those out of range. What a fabulous, fabulous weapon. A dripping plasma sword.
That's like Grimdark comes to Star Wars.
Dangerous.
Isn't it awesome?
Sounds incredibly dangerous.
I love it. That's exactly what a Sith would have. It's like a normal lightsaber, but dripping with blood. That's Darth Sidious said that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He often said that. Yeah.
I believe that was the abridged version.
No, that's why their lightsabers are red, because they are lightsabers that are embodied with blood.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. I've been getting deep into the Star Wars lore these days.
This is the
really
thing now you said that, we are going to get a bunch of comments down below telling us the different explanations of why Sith lightsabers are red.
Do you want to know something
actually, I think you'll find
something that I didn't know?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm going off on a tangent here, but I didn't know.
You'll have to wait a little longer.
Yeah, you maybe know who you are, but the rest of you will find out soon. I didn't know the significance of Darth Vader's suit. Right?
Yeah.
Now, it's maybe changing in the current canon, but in the old canon, Darth Vader's suit, the Emperor encased him in it, the suit itself was a torture device that caused him pain.
Really?
So as to unhinge Anakin so much. Because Anakin attacked Darth Sidious shortly after getting in the suit, but the suit deliberately caused him pain to increase his madness.
Right.
So that he was absolutely, utterly psychotic.
And to also mean that he had a weakness that Sidious could exploit if the need ever arose.
Yeah, and it took Vader quite a long time to get used to his suit. Yeah. That even a trainee Jedi almost defeated him at one point.
Hang on. Have you never had a pair of jeans that were just a bit too tight? Walking around those, that's painful, man.
Oh, yes, I have. Okay, so the winner, Darth Grim Varg, was Baron Bruiser.
Hey!
Show me a happy Romeo face. Do you know what? That face is too happy, right?
Yeah. Oh.
I'm going to give away. Let's spend some of Romeo's money.
Let's do it.
Let's spend some Battlefoam money.
Okay.
Right. So, do you know what?
Hang on. Let me be sensible for a second.
No.
Here. No. Let me finish. What are you planning?
I'm going to give away more Battlefoam. Right. Okay. So if you thought we were finished, we're not. Romeo. We're for my Romeo. We're going to give away some more foam, okay?
I'm hearing the echoes of screams from stateside.
So we've made the assumption that any of you guys that entered that competition are probably going to pick up the core set anyway. So to top it out for you, we're going to get you some battle foam to go with it. So Coxjewel, you've won yourself some battle foam.
Okay.
Oh, that's a grumpy face, Romeo. Okay, let's see, who else do we have on here? Jack78, you've just won yourself some battle foam. Who else? Rick Yard. Guess what? You've got some battle foam. We're also going to give some battle foam to Falcon86866 because a username like that deserves some battle foam. I'm also going to give some battle foam to Silver Fox 8. Yeah, baby! Enjoy your battle foam.
Okay, 5? What?
Wavecaster 05. Let's give him some battle foam as well.
Do it!
6.
This face is going to get grumpier. Romeo, I'm not finished yet because I want to give some battle foam to Aramaki. Aramaki, you got some battle foam. And then Chrisisk. Have some battle foam from the kindness of our heart. Now, right, Romeo?
Warren, come on.
One more,
but that's all.
Okay, Engine Seer, have yourself some battle foam.
Romeo.
Everybody's getting battle foam.
Everybody's getting battle foam today, man. Why not? We're all celebrating Star Wars. This is it.
Yeah.
I am in Cloud 9 at the moment because
Or Cloud City.
I'm bee spinning. So I'm bee spinning here. So it's I'm just in such a great mood because the whole Star Wars Legion thing is allowing me to revisit feelings that I haven't had since I was 5 or 6 years old. Man, I'm just like a big kid at the moment. So tomorrow on Backstage, I'm gonna be doing some show and tell and talking a bit about what I'm at, and more importantly, looking for some expert Star Wars guidance from you guys. Also, by joining Backstage, you help us continue to do what we do every week. We couldn't do any of the content. All this front stage content is courtesy of those folk that help us backstage each week.
Yep.
So if you can find it in your hearts to come across and support us, we will do our very best to entertain you. Thank you very much for watching. Massive thank you to Ben, to Justin, to Sam, and most importantly, a huge thank you to you guys. Have a great week of gaming.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.